Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at the mobile app world in 2025.
Okay.
We're really trying to answer the question of what's going on
Yeah.
in mobile apps right now. We've got all this data from Sensor Tower articles on the hottest trends, and you were even taking some notes.
Yeah.
But the big thing is are we about to see a power shift in the mobile app world?
Oh, interesting.
Could non-gaming apps actually overtake gaming when it comes to how much people are spending?
That's a great question. And I think, the data that we're seeing does point to something like that happening, at least to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But to really understand why that could happen,
Mhm.
we need to look at the big picture first.
Uh-huh.
Sensor Tower's data reveals some pretty crazy stats about just how much time
I know, right?
we're all spending on our phones.
Just hit me with it. How addicted are we to our phones?
Okay, so globally, the average person is spending 3.5 hours a day
Whoa.
on their phone.
That's a lot.
Yeah, think about that. That's over 13 minutes out of
Right.
every waking hour.
Yeah.
And that's actually up almost 6% from last year, according to Sensor Tower.
Wow.
We're also using more apps than ever before, with the average user accessing 26 different apps each month.
Wow.
That's 7 different apps every single day.
Yeah, so we're spending more time and we're using more apps.
Right.
So that's a lot of attention being directed towards these little devices.
Exactly.
But the question is, are app developers actually capitalizing on this? Are they actually making money from all this phone time?
Well, Sensor Tower's data shows that in-app purchase revenue outside of games hit a record $69.2 billion in 2024.
Wow.
That's a massive 25% jump from the year before.
25, that's huge.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the answer to that question is a resounding yes, at least when it comes to non-gaming apps.
Yeah.
But what about gaming? I always thought that gaming was the cash cow of the app world.
Gaming is still pulling in some serious money, over $80 billion in 2024. But here's where it gets interesting. Gaming revenue is only growing at about 4% year over year.
Okay.
So that's actually a snail's pace compared to the kind of meteoric rise of non-gaming apps.
Right.
And if these trends continue, we could very well see, a changing of the guard in the not-too-distant future.
Okay, I'm hooked. We've established that people are spending a ton of time on their phones.
Yeah.
But what are they actually doing on them?
Oh,
What
yeah.
non-gaming apps are driving this revenue explosion?
So Sensor Tower points to a few key categories:
Okay.
entertainment, productivity, and photo and video apps.
Okay.
And here's the really interesting part. Every single non-game category actually experienced positive year-over-year growth.
Wow.
So that shows you just how diverse and dynamic the non-gaming app market has become.
That makes sense. I mean, when I think about my own phone use,
Yeah.
I'm constantly switching between streaming services and editing photos and trying to stay on top of my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
It's my phone is my mini computer. But with so many apps out there, are we seeing any clear winners emerge?
That's a great question. It really depends on the category.
Okay.
So, for instance, in streaming, Sensor Tower's data indicates that the market is surprisingly fragmented.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 9 different streaming apps each capture at least 3%
Wow.
of the total revenue pie.
So there's still room for a lot of players in that streaming game.
Yeah, it seems like it.
That's really interesting. But in social media, I feel like it's a whole different story.
Completely different.
Yeah.
2 major players, TikTok and YouTube, they are absolutely dominating, capturing a whopping 70%
70%.
of consumer spending in that category.
That's a power duo.
Yeah, talk about a power couple.
That's crazy. But you know what else is crazy?
What's that?
The speed at which AI is changing everything.
AI is definitely the elephant in the room, or should we say the AI in the app?
Huh. I love that. But seriously, is this just hype, or is AI really transforming the mobile app landscape?
I think the data suggests it's far more than just a passing fad. Generative AI apps alone have seen explosive growth.
Can we just back up for a second?
Sure.
For anyone listening who might not know,
Yeah.
what exactly do we mean by generative AI?
Yeah, you're right. It can sound a little intimidating.
Yeah.
But think of it like this. Generative AI refers to apps that use AI to create new content.
Okay.
So you've got things like ChatGPT for text,
Right.
or those AI art generators that can just whip up these amazing images from just a few prompts.
Hmm.
It's all about AI creating things rather than just analyzing data or automating tasks.
Okay, that makes sense. So back to those generative AI apps, how much are they growing?
Okay, so hold on to your hat. Just a couple years ago, back in 2022, these apps brought in a measly $30 million.
Okay.
Flash forward to 2024, and that number has skyrocketed to nearly $1.3 billion.
That's huge.
Downloads followed a similar trajectory, hitting almost 1.5 billion in 2024.
So it's not just, a bunch of tech geeks playing around with these apps.
Yeah.
People are actually using them and they're spending money on them.
Right.
But is this just like a ChatGPT craze?
Yeah.
Or is AI being integrated into a wider range of apps?
That's a great question, and I think the data really points to a much broader trend.
Okay.
So Sensor Tower actually found that over 3,000 apps added AI-related terms to their descriptions in 2024.
Wow.
And it's not just tech-heavy apps either. We're seeing AI features popping up in everything from lifestyle and finance apps to music and even shopping apps.
So AI is like infiltrating almost every corner of the app world.
It really is.
That's incredible. But I'm curious, are these apps like actually using AI in a meaningful way?
Yeah.
Or is it just like a marketing gimmick?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
And the Duolingo example actually illustrates this perfectly.
Okay.
Initially, they tried adding AI to their paid subscription, but users just weren't impressed.
Okay.
However, when they introduced AI-powered video calls for language practice, it was a huge hit,
Wow.
both in terms of user engagement and revenue.
So it's not enough to just slap an AI-powered label on a feature? It has to actually enhance the user experience and add real value.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about another major player in the app world, retail.
Yeah.
Are people still just browsing on their phones, or are they actually buying stuff?
Well, Sensor Tower's data reveals a pretty clear shift. Shoppers are becoming increasingly mobile first.
This totally lines up with some articles I've been reading about how Chinese e-tailers like Shein and Temu are like exploding in popularity.
Right.
And they're totally focused on the mobile experience. And it seems to be working.
Yeah.
But is this just a fad? Or is mobile shopping becoming like a dominant force?
It seems like more than just a fad.
Okay.
Retail apps are showing strong growth in both downloads and time spent, indicating a deeper trend.
Yeah.
And it's not just about browsing anymore.
I've noticed that too. I use shopping apps for everything these days. It's just so much easier to compare prices,
Right.
find deals, and even get things delivered right to my door, all from my phone. Like, I honestly can't remember the last time I was inside an actual store.
Yeah.
But is everyone else doing this too?
Well, the data suggests that this is becoming the norm. We're seeing this rise in general shopping apps that let you buy everything from clothes to groceries all in one place.
Wow.
And the increasing popularity of coupon and rebate apps indicates that people are becoming even more price conscious. And they're turning to their phones to snag the best deals.
That's so smart. I need to get on that bandwagon. But what about grocery shopping specifically?
Yeah.
Are people really ordering their groceries through apps now?
It seems so.
Huh.
Grocery store apps are becoming super crucial for customer loyalty,
Okay.
offering personalized deals and streamlining the entire shopping experience.
It's all about convenience these days.
Right. And plus, who wants to drag themselves to the grocery store after a long day when you can just order everything you need from your couch?
I am so guilty of that. Okay, so we've covered a lot already. Mobile app usage is soaring.
Yeah.
Non-gaming apps are giving gaming a run for its money, and AI is becoming increasingly pervasive. So what does this all mean for the average person?
Yeah.
The person who just wants to use their phone without having to think about market trends and data points.
It means that mobile apps are no longer just a way to kill time.
Okay.
They're really becoming central to how we live, work, shop, and learn.
It's everything.
And this trend is only going to accelerate in the years to come.
So mobile is everything.
Yeah.
Got it. But where do we go from here? What does the future hold for the mobile app world? Well, we'll have to say that for part 2,
Yeah.
where we'll dig deeper into these trends and explore some specific examples of how they're playing out in different app categories.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Welcome back. It's kind of crazy to think about how much the mobile app landscape has changed in just a few short years.
I know, right?
We've gone from basic games and utilities, apps that are changing the way we live,
Right.
workshop, and even learn new languages.
It really is remarkable. And it's not just about the quantity of time we're spending on our phones, but also the quality of the experiences these apps are offering.
Right.
So I think it'd be fun to dig into a few more specific examples
Yeah.
to really illustrate just how diverse and innovative the app world has become.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
What's next on our app adventure?
Well, remember earlier when we were talking about how retail apps are becoming increasingly important?
Yeah.
There's another category that's closely related,
Mm-hmm.
and it's seeing some fascinating trends as well. Travel apps.
Oh, travel apps. It's funny you should mention that because I was just looking at my phone the other day
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, wow, I actually use a lot of travel apps. I've got apps for booking flights and hotels,
Right.
finding cool Airbnbs, navigating new cities, even translating foreign languages.
It sounds like you are like the perfect example of like the mobile first traveler. And you're not alone. Remember how travel apps saw this huge surge in downloads and engagement when people were finally able to travel again after the pandemic?
Yeah,
It seems like those gains have stuck around.
that makes sense. People were so eager to get back out there and explore the world,
Right.
and travel apps made it easier than ever to do just that. But is that trend still going strong?
Absolutely. Sensor Tower reports that travel app downloads actually continued to climb, reaching 4.2 billion in 2024.
Wow.
That's a 3% increase year over year, which might not sound like a lot,
Okay.
but it's actually a whopping 30% increase from pre-pandemic levels back in 2019.
30%.
Right.
So even with all the economic uncertainty and talk of recessions,
Right.
people are still prioritizing travel
Yeah,
and they're using their phones to plan their adventures.
exactly.
But I'm curious, which types of travel apps are people using the most?
Well, it probably won't surprise you to hear that like navigation and maps apps are
Yeah.
still at the top of the list.
Makes sense.
Apps like Google Maps and Waze have become like indispensable tools for getting around.
Yeah.
Whether you're like a local trying to avoid traffic jams or a tourist navigating a new city.
Yeah, I can't imagine traveling without a good Maps app.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lifesaver, especially in unfamiliar places.
Yeah.
But are people still using those like old school travel booking websites?
Yeah.
Or have they switched over to mobile apps for that too?
It seems like mobile is winning that battle as well.
Okay.
Travel booking services and travel agencies are seeing strong growth in the app world. So
Okay.
apps like Booking.com and Expedia are incredibly popular because they let you compare prices, read reviews, and book flights, hotels, and even rental cars, all in one place.
Talk about convenience.
Right?
It's like having your own personal travel agent right in your pocket.
Huh.
And let's not forget about all those like transportation apps that make getting around cities so much easier.
You're right. Those are crucial too. Ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft have become incredibly popular,
Yeah.
especially in urban areas. And with the rise of electric scooters and bike-sharing programs, there are even more options for getting around without having to deal with the hassle of owning a car.
Right. It's amazing how these apps have completely changed the way we travel,
I know.
making it more accessible, more affordable, and definitely less stressful.
I completely agree. And as travelers become even more reliant on their phones, we're seeing even more specialized travel apps popping up.
Oh, like what? I'm always on the lookout for cool new travel apps.
Well, there are apps that help you find like the best deals on flights and hotels,
Okay.
apps that curate personalized travel itineraries based on your interests,
Awesome.
and even apps that connect you with local guides for unique experiences.
Whoa, those sound awesome. I'll have to check those out. It seems like no matter what kind of traveler you are, whether
Yeah.
you're like a budget backpacker or a luxury jet setter,
Yeah,
there's an app out there that can make your journey smoother and more enjoyable.
exactly. And that's a testament to like the ingenuity of app developers who are constantly coming up with new ways to meet the needs of mobile-first consumers.
Right. Okay, so travel apps are clearly booming. What other category is catching your eye in this ever-evolving mobile app landscape?
Well, let's shift gears and talk about a category that I'm particularly interested in.
Okay.
And I know you are too.
Yeah.
Health and fitness apps. Remember earlier when we mentioned that health and fitness apps experienced a major resurgence in 2024?
Yeah, I remember.
Hmm.
And it's no surprise given how much people are focusing on their well-being these days,
Right.
both physical and mental.
That's definitely a big part of it. And mobile apps are playing a crucial role in making health and fitness more accessible and personalized than ever before.
Yeah.
You know, these apps are literally empowering people to take control of their health.
Yeah.
And the numbers are pretty impressive.
I'm definitely seeing that firsthand. My own workout routine is practically powered by apps at this point.
Oh, wow.
I use them to track my runs, find new yoga classes, and even monitor my sleep patterns.
That's cool.
It's wild to think about how much these little devices can do.
Oh.
But I'm curious, are other people jumping on the app bandwagon for their health and fitness too?
The data says yes. Sensor Tower found that global consumer spending on health and fitness apps hit an impressive $3.8 billion in 2024,
Wow.
a a significant 27% jump from the previous year.
27%.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It seems like people are willing to put their money where their health is.
Yeah.
And app developers are responding with some truly innovative solutions.
Right.
But is it just about getting fit?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we seeing like a broader trend toward like holistic health and wellness?
You're right on the money with that observation. We're seeing this convergence of health and technology,
Right.
with apps playing a vital role in everything from managing chronic conditions to accessing telehealth services.
Right.
It's not just about hitting the gym anymore.
Yeah.
It's about taking a holistic approach to well-being.
I love that. It's
Yeah.
like having a personal health coach right in your pocket.
Right.
But with so many different health and fitness apps out there,
Yeah.
it can be overwhelming to know where to start.
Right.
What are some of the specific types of apps that are trending right now?
Well, according to Sensor Tower, gym and fitness apps are still the most popular, accounting for 28% of total revenue in 2024.
Okay.
But it's not just the big-name gym chains anymore.
I've noticed that too. I'm seeing a ton of independent fitness studios and personal trainers
Yeah.
offering their own apps these days,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. It makes personalized fitness so much more accessible and affordable.
You're exactly right. It's become so much easier for fitness professionals to connect with clients and offer customized workout plans through mobile apps, which has made the whole fitness landscape more diverse and exciting.
And it's not just about working out at the gym or in a studio anymore either.
Right.
I've seen a huge rise in apps that focus on outdoor activities like hiking, biking, and running.
You're right. That's a big trend as well. Apps like Alltrails and Strava have become incredibly popular for tracking outdoor workouts, finding new trails, and even connecting with other fitness enthusiasts who share your love of the great outdoors.
Yeah.
It seems like more and more people are realizing that getting outside and being active is just as beneficial for mental well-being
Right.
as it is for physical health.
It's like a double win for your health. And speaking of making fitness fun,
Yeah.
what about those gamified fitness apps that have become so popular?
Oh, yeah.
I've heard people raving about them, but I've never actually tried one myself.
Yeah.
Do they really work?
They definitely can be effective, especially for people who find traditional workouts a bit boring.
Okay.
Apps like Zombies, Run,
Yeah.
and Pokemon Go have cleverly integrated game-like elements into fitness,
Yeah.
which can be incredibly motivating and fun.
It's like tricking yourself into working out.
Right.
That's so clever.
Yeah.
I might have to give one of those a try. But let's not forget about like the other side of the health and fitness coin. Apps that are more focused on the health aspect of things.
Yeah.
Are there any interesting developments there?
That's where things get really interesting. We're seeing some explosive growth in medical tracking apps, with downloads increasing by a whopping 43% year over year in 2024.
43%. Wow, that's incredible. What's driving that kind of growth?
It's a combination of factors, really. Advancements in wearable technology are making it easier than ever to track important health metrics, like heart rate, sleep patterns, and even blood sugar levels.
Wow.
And at the same time, there's this growing awareness among consumers
Yeah.
about the importance of personalized health care.
Right.
So people are taking a more proactive approach to managing their health, and apps are providing the tools to do just that.
It's like having a mini medical lab right on your wrist.
I know, right?
It's amazing to think about how these apps are bridging the gap between consumers and their health,
Yeah,
making it easier to monitor, manage, and ultimately improve our well-being.
right,
But with so many different health and fitness apps out there,
right.
it could be tough to know which ones are worth trying.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for like choosing the right apps?
That's a great question. With so many options available, it's definitely important to do your research and find apps that align with your individual needs and goals.
Okay.
So look for apps that are reputable, user-friendly, and most importantly, offer features that genuinely add value to your health journey.
Right.
And don't be afraid to try out a few different apps before you find the ones that work best for you.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about travel apps and health and fitness apps. What other app categories are worth exploring in our deep dive?
Well, since you're such a big sports fan, let's delve into a category that I know you'll find interesting, sports apps.
Oh, yeah, sports apps. I'm definitely curious to hear about what's happening in that corner of the app world.
Okay.
I mean, who doesn't love being able to catch their favorite team's game on their phone no matter where they are?
You got it. And the data shows that you're not alone.
Okay.
The sports app landscape has undergone some pretty major shifts in recent years, and it's a fascinating case study in how mobile technology is transforming the way we consume and engage with sports.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are some of the biggest trends you're seeing in the world of sports apps?
Well, for starters, consumer spending on sports apps is on a steady climb.
Yeah.
Sensor Tower reports that it reached $1.5 billion in 2024,
Okay.
a 12% increase year over year.
12% is pretty significant. Clearly, there's a growing appetite for mobile sports experiences.
Yeah.
But is it just about live streaming games?
Yeah.
Or are sports apps offering like a wider range of features these days?
It's definitely become much more than just watching games on your phone.
Yeah, okay.
Sports apps are offering a whole suite of features,
Mm-hmm.
from real-time scores and stats to personalized news feeds and even fantasy sports leagues.
Wow.
It's like having your own personalized sports hub right in your pocket.
That's so cool. It's like they've thought of everything a sports fan could possibly want.
Right.
But what's driving this shift towards mobile in the sports world? Why are people choosing apps over traditional TV or even going to games in person?
There are a few factors at play here.
Okay.
First, there's the increasing accessibility and affordability of mobile devices and data plans.
Right.
It's easier than ever for people to get online and stay connected no matter where they are.
That's a good point. I remember back in the day when data plans were super expensive.
Yeah.
You had to be like careful about how much you used.
Right.
Now it's practically unlimited for a lot of people.
Right. And another big factor is the rise of younger generations who have grown up with mobile as their primary screen.
Yeah.
So they expect to be able to access everything, including their favorite sports content
Right.
on their phones. It's just how they consume media.
Felt like they were born with a phone in their hand.
Pretty much. And let's not forget about the huge influence of social media,
Yeah.
which has created this whole new way for fans to connect and engage with their favorite teams and athletes.
It's true. Social media has become such an integral part of the sports experience.
Yeah.
It's so much fun to like share your thoughts and reactions with other fans
Mm-hmm.
and even interact with players and teams directly.
Exactly. And sports apps are increasingly integrating social media features to enhance the user experience.
Oh.
So you can chat with friends, share highlights, and even participate in live polls and Q&As,
Wow.
all within the app. It's really taking fan engagement to a whole new level.
That's so cool. Okay, so sports apps are becoming more diverse, more engaging, and more social.
Yeah.
But what about the different types of sports apps that are gaining traction?
Yeah.
Are there any clear winners emerging in this crowded space?
Well, according to Sensor Tower sports entertainment apps,
Okay.
which include everything from live streaming platforms to sports news and highlights apps, are still the most popular subgenre in terms of downloads.
Okay.
But there's one category that's been making headlines
Okay.
and like shaking things up: sports betting apps.
Oh, yes. Sports betting has become like a hot topic in recent years as more and more states are legalizing it.
Yeah.
And it seems like mobile apps are playing a major role in this growing industry.
Absolutely. Sports betting apps have seen explosive growth in both downloads and revenue,
Okay.
particularly in the US, where the market is rapidly expanding.
Hmm.
It's become incredibly easy and convenient for people to place bets on their favorite teams and players,
Right.
all from their phones.
I've definitely seen a ton of ads for sports betting apps lately,
Yeah,
especially during major sporting events like the Super Bowl and the NBA Finals.
right.
It seems like everyone is trying to get in on the action.
That's no coincidence. Sports betting companies are pouring money into marketing and advertising to attract new users.
Hmm.
And mobile is a key channel for reaching their target audience.
So it seems like sports betting apps are here to stay,
It seems like it.
and they're only going to get bigger and more sophisticated as technology advances and legalization spreads to more states.
Yeah.
But what about the broader sports app landscape?
Mhm.
What are some of the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for developers who are trying to create successful sports apps?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is differentiation.
Okay.
With so many sports apps vying for attention, it's becoming increasingly difficult to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like
Yeah.
trying to get noticed in a sea of apps.
Exactly. Apps that can offer exclusive content,
Right.
personalized experiences, and truly innovative features
Mhm.
are the ones that are most likely to succeed in the long run.
Okay.
It's not enough to just provide access to sports anymore.
Right.
You have to create a unique and engaging experience
Yeah.
that keeps users coming back for more.
So it's all about finding a niche
Mm-hmm.
and making your app stand out in a meaningful way. That's a tall order.
It definitely is.
Mhm.
And another key trend to watch is the integration of emerging technologies like augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR.
Oh, yeah.
These technologies have the potential to revolutionize the way we experience sports,
Yeah.
bringing us closer to the action than ever before.
Ooh, that's exciting. I can imagine how AR and VR could create some truly immersive and mind-blowing sports experiences.
Absolutely. Imagine being able to watch a game from the perspective of your favorite player,
Wow.
or experience a virtual tour of a stadium
That would be so cool.
from the comfort of your own couch. These are just a few examples of how AR and VR could transform the sports app landscape.
Wow, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It seems like the future of sports apps is bright with plenty of innovation and exciting possibilities on the horizon.
I agree.
But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
We've already covered a lot of ground in this deep dive,
we have.
talking about travel apps, health and fitness apps, and now sports apps.
It's a lot.
It's amazing to see how diverse and innovative the mobile app world has become.
I agree. It's remarkable how these little devices in our pockets have become such powerful tools
Yeah.
for everything from planning trips and tracking our workouts to connecting with friends and watching our favorite teams play.
And I'm sure there's even more to uncover. What other app adventures do we have in store for our listeners?
Well, let's take a closer look at a category that often gets overlooked,
Okay.
but plays a crucial role in our daily lives: food and drink apps.
Oh, yeah, food and drink apps. I use those all the time.
I know, who doesn't?
I've got apps for ordering takeout, finding new restaurants,
Right.
even
Yeah.
figuring out what to cook for dinner.
Yeah,
They've definitely become like an indispensable part of my routine.
you're definitely not alone. The data shows that mobile is transforming the food and drink industry in some pretty big ways.
Okay.
You know, downloads and sessions for food and drink apps are accelerating, which tells us that people are relying on these apps for everything from discovering new culinary experiences
Yeah.
to managing their weekly grocery shopping list.
Yeah. So what are some of the most notable trends you're seeing in this delicious corner of the app world?
Well, one trend that continues to gain momentum is the rise of fast food and fast casual restaurant apps. You know, downloads for these apps are steadily climbing,
Yeah.
driven by a desire for convenience, speed, and value.
Makes sense. Who doesn't love the ease of ordering a burger and fries from their favorite fast food joint
Yeah,
and having it delivered right to their door?
exactly. And these apps are making it easier than ever to satisfy those cravings.
Right.
They offer features like online ordering, mobile payments, and loyalty programs that incentivize repeat business.
It's like they've removed all the barriers to getting your fast food fix.
Right.
But is it just the big chain restaurants that are dominating the food app space?
Not at all. I'm seeing more and more local eateries offering their own apps these days,
Oh, cool.
which is great for supporting small businesses and fostering a sense of community.
That's a fantastic point.
Yeah.
It seems like mobile apps have leveled the playing field,
Yeah.
giving smaller restaurants a chance to compete with the big guys
Right.
and connect with customers in new ways.
Absolutely. Okay, so fast food apps are booming. But what about those of us who are trying to be a little more health conscious?
Yeah,
Are there apps that cater to those dietary needs and goals?
absolutely. Nutrition and diet apps are also seeing a surge in popularity as consumers become more attuned to their health and wellness.
Right.
These apps offer features like calorie tracking, meal planning, and personalized recipe recommendations, helping users make more informed decisions about their diet.
Yeah.
I've even seen apps that connect you with registered dietitians for personalized nutrition guidance,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. It's like having a virtual nutritionist on call.
Exactly. And it speaks to the increasing sophistication of these apps.
Right.
They're no longer just basic calorie counters.
Yeah.
They're providing users with the tools and resources they need to achieve their health goals in a sustainable and personalized way.
So whether you're looking for a quick and easy meal or a healthy and balanced diet, there's a food and drink app out there to help you achieve your goals.
Yes, exactly.
But what about the actual process of getting those groceries?
Yeah.
Are people still braving the supermarket aisles?
Yeah.
Or are they turning to their phones for help with that too?
Well, grocery delivery apps have definitely become a lifesaver for busy individuals and families,
Oh, yeah.
allowing them to order their groceries online and have them delivered right to their homes. It's the ultimate convenience.
I have to admit, I've totally embraced the convenience of grocery delivery myself,
Yeah.
especially during those crazy weeks when it feels like there's just not enough time to do everything.
Right.
But are grocery delivery apps just about convenience? Or are they offering something more these days?
It's definitely not just about convenience anymore. Grocery delivery apps are expanding their offerings to provide access to a wider variety of products,
Okay.
including fresh produce, specialty items, and even meal kits.
Yeah.
They're making it easier than ever to get everything you need without having to set foot in a store.
It's like having your own personal grocery shopper.
I know, right?
I love it. But with so many different grocery delivery apps popping up,
Yeah,
how are they differentiating themselves?
that's a great question. As competition in the grocery delivery space heats up, we're seeing apps offer more competitive pricing,
Okay.
faster delivery times,
Mm.
and even subscription services that provide additional perks and discounts.
It seems like they're pulling out all the stops to attract and retain customers.
Hmm.
Okay, so we've covered fast food apps, nutrition and diet apps, and even grocery delivery apps.
It's a lot.
But what about those apps that help us find new culinary adventures?
Yeah.
Are there any apps that can help me discover that hidden gem of a restaurant that I've been missing out on?
You're in luck. That's where dining listings, reviews, and reservations apps come in.
Okay.
These apps have become our go-to resources for finding the best restaurants in town,
Right.
reading reviews from other diners, and even booking tables in advance.
I love being able to browse menus,
Yeah.
check out photos of the dishes,
Yeah.
and read real-life reviews before I decide where to eat.
Mm-hmm.
It takes all the guesswork out of choosing a restaurant.
And it's not just about finding a place to eat anymore.
Oh?
These apps are incorporating more social features,
Mhm.
allowing you to share your dining experiences with friends
Yeah.
and discover new restaurants based on recommendations from people you trust.
It's like having a personal food critic in your pocket.
Right.
That's amazing. So it seems like food and drink apps were evolving to meet the needs of busy and discerning consumers.
They really are.
But what does the future hold for this category?
Yeah.
Are there any game-changing innovations on the horizon?
It's an exciting time for food and drink apps. As technology continues to advance,
Yeah.
we can expect even more innovation and integration with other cutting-edge technologies.
Okay.
For example, imagine being able to use augmented reality to preview dishes before you order them,
Well,
or virtual reality to experience virtual dining experiences from the comfort of your own home.
why those sound incredible.
Yeah.
AR and VR could completely transform the way we interact with food and drink,
Yeah,
taking the dining experience to a whole new level.
I couldn't agree more. And as mobile technology continues to evolve, we can expect food and drink apps to play an even bigger role in our lives.
Mhm.
From the way we discover and order food to the way we manage our diets and connect with others over shared culinary experiences.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Travel apps,
We have.
health and fitness apps,
Mhm.
sports apps, and now food and drink apps. We've explored some of the most dynamic and innovative corners of the mobile app world.
We really have.
But something tells me you've still got more insights to share.
Oh, maybe a few.
What other app adventures are waiting for us?
You know me too well. There's one more category that I think deserves our attention,
Okay.
and it's one that's been experiencing some fascinating shifts in recent years. Social media apps.
Ooh, yes.
Social
I
media.
knew you'd be excited about that one.
Of course. It's become such an integral part of our lives.
It really has.
And mobile has been like a major driving force behind its rise.
I can't even imagine what life would be like without social media apps.
Right. It's amazing to think about how much they've changed the way we connect with each other,
Yeah.
share information, and even consume news and entertainment.
Right.
Social media apps have become our virtual town squares.
That's true.
Where we catch up with friends and family, share our thoughts and experiences, and stay informed about what's happening in the world.
I remember back in the early days of social media when it was all about simple text updates and blurry photos.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's a completely different ballgame.
I know, right?
We've got live video streaming,
Mm-hmm.
augmented reality filters,
Yeah.
personalized news feeds,
Eh.
and so much more.
It's a lot.
It's incredible how much social media has evolved in such a short amount of time.
It really is. And this rapid evolution is a testament to the creativity and ingenuity of app developers who are constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible on mobile devices.
Right.
They're constantly coming up with new ways to engage users
Yeah.
and make the social media experience more immersive and interactive.
So what are some of the biggest trends you're seeing in the world of social media apps these days? What's hot, what's not, and what should we be paying attention to?
Well, one of the most notable trends is the rise of short-form video content.
Yeah.
Platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels have absolutely exploded in popularity,
Right.
capturing the attention of younger generations with their bite-sized, addictive videos.
I've definitely been sucked into the endless scroll of TikTok more times than I care to admit.
I think we all have.
It's like a black hole of entertainment.
It's a powerful format that combines entertainment, creativity, and a strong sense of community.
Right.
And it's forced other social media platforms to adapt and embrace short-form video in order to stay relevant and appeal to younger audiences.
I've seen Facebook and even YouTube trying to get in on the action,
Right.
with varying degrees of success. But is short-form video just a passing fad?
Yeah.
Or is it like a fundamental shift in the way we consume content online?
It's hard to say for sure, but it definitely seems like a format that's here to stay.
Okay.
You know, TikTok has really nailed the formula for short-form video, creating this addictive and engaging experience that keeps users coming back for more.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see if any other platform can truly challenge TikTok's dominance in this space.
Okay, so short-form video is clearly a major force in the social media world. What else is shaping the social media landscape?
Another key trend that's gaining momentum is the increasing focus on privacy and data security.
Okay.
As users become more aware of how their personal data is being collected, used, and sometimes even misused,
Right.
social media platforms are under increasing pressure to be more transparent and responsible.
We've seen some pretty high-profile data breaches and privacy scandals in recent years,
Yeah, we have.
which has definitely eroded trust in some of the bigger social media companies.
For sure.
It makes sense that people are demanding more control over their data and privacy.
Exactly. And as a result, we're
Right.
seeing this rise in social media platforms.
That prioritize privacy and data security as core features.
Okay.
So these platforms often offer end-to-end encryption, decentralized networks,
Right.
and a commitment to minimizing data collection.
Right.
They're trying to build trust by putting users' privacy first.
That's encouraging to hear. It's great to know that there are alternatives out there
Yeah.
for people who are concerned about their online privacy.
Right.
But what about the way we connect with each other on social media?
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of mobile apps. It's amazing to think about how much ground we've covered. We've explored everything from travel and fitness apps to social media and even those delicious food and drink apps. It's like we've taken a whirlwind tour of the entire app universe.
I know, right? It's been quite a journey. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I think it's important to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. What are the overarching trends that are shaping the mobile app ecosystem as a whole?
Okay, I'm ready for the big picture view. What are the forces that are driving the evolution of mobile apps in 2025?
Well, one of the most significant trends is the increasing maturity of the mobile app market. Think back to those eye-opening stats we discussed at the beginning of our deep dive. Remember how Sensor Tower's data revealed that people are spending more time than ever on their phones and using a wider variety of apps each day?
Yeah, those numbers were pretty mind-blowing. An average of 3.5 hours per day glued to our phones and using something like 7 different apps every single day. It's hard to believe we're spending that much time in the app world.
It really is remarkable, and while those numbers are impressive, they also point to a shift in the market. In many mature markets, like the US and Japan, the growth rate of time spent on mobile is starting to slow down.
So we're not necessarily going to see those numbers skyrocket year after year anymore.
Exactly. It's like we've reached a saturation point. Most people who are going to have a smartphone already do, and they're already spending a significant chunk of their time using apps. But here's the thing. Even though the growth rate is leveling off, revenue is still climbing, especially for those non-gaming apps we talked about earlier.
So the app market is maturing, but there's still plenty of money to be made, especially for developers who are creating those must-have apps that people are willing to pay for.
Precisely. And this brings us to another important point. It's no longer enough to simply build a cool app and hope people will flock to it. App developers need to be much savvier. They need to really understand their target audience, create compelling user experiences, and offer real value to their users if they want to succeed in this increasingly competitive market.
So it's all about quality over quantity now.
In a lot of ways, yes. It's about building apps that people genuinely love to use, apps that become an integral part of their lives, apps that solve real problems and enhance their everyday experiences.
It's like the app world is growing up. It's not just about flashy games and gimmicky apps anymore. It's about creating meaningful experiences that truly make people's lives better.
That's a great way to put it. And speaking of creating meaningful experiences, we can't overlook the elephant in the room, artificial intelligence.
Ah, yes, AI. We've talked about it throughout our deep dive, but I'm eager to hear your thoughts on how AI is shaping the broader mobile app ecosystem.
Well, I think it's safe to say that AI is becoming a truly transformative force in the app world. We've already seen AI pop up in everything from generative AI apps and language learning tools to fitness trackers and even those smart shopping apps.
It's mind-blowing to think about how AI is already being integrated into so many different aspects of our lives, and it seems like it's just the tip of the iceberg.
You're absolutely right, and this is where it gets really exciting. AI has the potential to revolutionize almost every aspect of the mobile app experience, from personalization and content recommendations to user interface design and even the way apps are developed.
So AI is going to be the secret sauce that makes apps even smarter, more personalized, and more intuitive.
That's the idea. But it's important to remember that AI isn't a magic bullet. It comes with its own set of challenges and considerations.
Like what? What are some of the potential downsides of integrating AI into mobile apps?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is ensuring that AI is used ethically and responsibly. We need to make sure that AI algorithms aren't biased, that they're not perpetuating harmful stereotypes or invading people's privacy.
That's a crucial point. It's great that AI can personalize our app experiences, but not at the expense of our privacy or fairness.
Exactly. And another challenge is striking the right balance between personalization and privacy. AI can be incredibly powerful for tailoring app experiences to individual users, but we need to make sure that users are comfortable with the level of data being collected and used.
So it's like we're on the cusp of a new era for mobile apps, one that's powered by AI but also requires careful consideration of its implications.
I couldn't agree more. It's an exciting but also challenging time for app developers, and the decisions they make about how to integrate AI will have a profound impact on the future of the mobile app landscape.
That's a lot to think about. Okay, so we've got a maturing app market, the rise of AI, and what else? Anything else we should add to our big picture overview of the mobile app world in 2025?
One final trend that I think is worth highlighting is the increasing importance of mobile apps for businesses of all sizes. It's no longer just tech giants and startups that are leveraging mobile apps to reach their customers.
I've definitely noticed that too. It seems like every business these days, from local restaurants and coffee shops to small retail stores and even service providers, are realizing that having a mobile app is essential for staying competitive.
You're absolutely right. Mobile apps have become a powerful tool for businesses to build relationships with their customers, offer personalized experiences, and even drive sales.
I've even seen my local dry cleaner launch an app. You can schedule pickups and deliveries, track your orders, and even pay through the app. It's so convenient.
That's a great example, and it underscores the fact that mobile apps are becoming ubiquitous across all industries. No matter what kind of business you're in, if you want to thrive in today's digital-first world, you need to have a strong mobile presence.
So it's not just about having a website anymore. You need an app too.
It's becoming increasingly essential, especially as consumers are spending more and more time on their mobile devices. Having a well-designed, user-friendly app can make all the difference in attracting and retaining customers.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've explored the latest trends in specific app categories like travel, health, and fitness sports, food and drink, and even social media. And we've zoomed out to look at the overall forces that are shaping the entire mobile app ecosystem. It's been an incredibly insightful journey.
I completely agree. It's amazing to reflect on just how far mobile apps have come in such a short amount of time. From simple games and utilities to sophisticated platforms that are transforming the way we live, work, and connect with the world, mobile apps have become an indispensable part of our modern lives.
And the most exciting part is this is just the beginning. The mobile app revolution is still unfolding, and there are countless more innovations and disruptions on the horizon.
That's what makes it so fascinating. It's a dynamic, ever-evolving landscape, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for mobile apps.
Me neither. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us on this exploration of the amazing world of mobile apps.
It's been my pleasure. And to our listener, remember, the mobile app landscape is constantly changing, so stay curious, keep exploring, and you never know what incredible new apps you'll discover.
That's great advice. Thanks for listening to the deep dive. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a topic that's sure to spark your curiosity. Until then, happy app exploring.